Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at the first selection box for August. You still have a little bit of time to get the selection box if there is a Tsum that you want to get. You have until August the 12th in order for you to get some of these Tsums that are in here. There's actually some pretty good Tsums in here, so let me go through some of these Tsums first and then I'll let you know which ones are my favorite. We have the White Queen, Monster University Randy, Parade Tinkerbell, Esmeralda, Prince Ali, Pumbaa as the first 6, and then for the next 6, we have Salazar, Flounder, Flower, Nemo, Patch, and Boo. So we do have these 12 here, and out of these 12, there are actually 4 that I really like. So number 1, I really like the White Queen. The White Queen is really good because she's really good at getting coins. So for that purposes, I did rank the White Queen as number 1. And then number 2, I rated Boo as my number 2 because Boo is multifunctional. Boo is really good for coins, big bubbles. Actually, Boo is primarily really good for the big bubbles. I will show you later how much you could use Boo to get those big bubbles, and also getting a really long chain. Boo's really good for that. And then number 3 is Patch. I really like Patch because he gets you a lot of combo, and really Patch is probably going to be the best one in the game for high combos. So for that reason, these are my top 3. However, I also would like to just comment that number 4 will be Parade Tinkerbell because Parade Tinkerbell is a Star Fever Tsum and mixed bubbles. So Parade Tinkerbell was actually one of my first early Tsums that started a fever. So for that reason, I want to just kind of give Parade Tinkerbell a mention as one of the top Tsums that I would recommend getting for this selection box. But anyways, let's take a look at all 12 of these Tsums so that way you can make a determination if you want to get them or not. The first Tsum we have the White Queen from Alice in Wonderland, and the description for the White Queen is that she will clears all Tsums in the center, and it's really that simple. The blast radius for the White Queen is going to be in the shape of a crown, and it primarily clears a majority of the area in the center and then some of the bottom as well. So depending on what skill level you have her at, the blast radius is going to change. I do have the White Queen at skill range extra large, so at skill level 6, so the blast radius is pretty much as big as it could get. So as you can see on the screen here, the blast is pretty much the entire screen. You could get anywhere between 36 to I've seen 40 blasts or for the chain. So pretty good for coins as well as just getting through the game very quickly. So one of the strategy in using the White Queen is just that you want to make sure that there's a lot of Tsums on the screen because during the animation, the burst, it does freeze the screen. So if you don't have any Tsums on the screen or have a lot of gaps and then you activate the ability, a lot of the chain is going to go to waste. So you want to just wait that couple of seconds for that screen to fill up. Like right here, I have a lot of gaps, so I only got 30 chains. But if you were to wait a little bit and make sure the screen is full, you should be able to get 38 or above. See, again right there, I didn't wait and I only got 29, but you definitely want to just wait that couple of seconds because that's really going to make a big difference in how much coins you earn at the very end. And really, when you are using the White Queen, you are really after that high chain because you are going for that coin earning potential. So yeah, just give it a couple of seconds. Like this is a perfect example right here. I was able to get a chain of 35. So just give it a couple of seconds. It really does make a difference. And at the end of this gameplay for the White Queen, even with the mistakes that I've made, I still got a total of 4,378 coins for this particular gameplay. And if you wait for the entire gameplay and you did everything perfectly, you should definitely get more than 5,000. So the White Queen is my number 1 because of the coin earning potential. Next, we have Monsters University Randy from Monsters Inc. And the ability description from Monsters University Randy is that Randall becomes other Tsum Tsum for a short time. So this one's pretty interesting, but it is a little bit more difficult to understand. I do have Monsters University Randy at skill level 3. So in order for you to activate his ability, you will need to get a total of 22 copies of him on the screen, and the ability will last 5 seconds. So the reason why this is a little bit confusing is that Monsters University will change into another Tsum that's on the screen, and you have to pay really close attention. You could chain that particular Tsum with other Tsums that's on the screen and make a really long chain. But alternatively, what you could also just do is just clear other Monsters University Randy, and what that will do is it will clear surrounding Tsums along with it. One of the strategies in using Monsters University Randy is just clear everything else besides Monsters University Randy, and then what you want to do at that point is clear all of the non Monsters University Randy at the same time, so that way it makes a really big burst and clears surrounding Tsums as well. That's one way of using it, or you could look closely to see which Tsum Monsters University Randy turned into, and then you can make long chains that way. But either way, Monsters University Randy isn't really that great. At the end of this gameplay, I have Monsters University Randy as skill level 3, and I only got 962 coins. So really not that great for coins and not that great for chain or for combo. So for that reason, you don't necessarily really need Randy here. Next, we have my number 4 Tsum, Parade Tinkerbell from Peter Pan. And Parade Tinkerbell's ability description is starts fever time, clears a horizontal of Tsum Tsum, and makes bubbles. So in a way, Parade Tinkerbell does 3 things. So first of all, it starts fevers. Second of all, makes a horizontal line. And then third of all, makes bubbles. So she's really good for bubbles and making a horizontal line and fever. And the benefit of starting that fever is really for those fever missions. There are some missions out there where it requires you to get 5 fevers per game, or not 5, but like 8 or 9. And sometimes those get a little bit hard if you don't have the right Tsums or don't play fast enough. And with these start fever time Tsums, it kind of is just shortcutting. Because what happens is if you do have one of those missions and you play the game, during the animation, if you're already in fever and you activate the ability, that will count as 2 fever times. But if you're not playing those missions and you just want to use a start fever Tsum, what I recommend is just save your ability and wait until the fever is up, like right here, and then activate it right away. Because that way you skip all of the clears and the fever time will start right away, and you get that extra 5 seconds for gameplay as well. But really for these start fever times, none of them are really that great for coin earning. I think Parade, Mickey is probably the best, but ultimately they're not that great for coin earning. It's just really good for missions. And then also for Parade Tinkerbell does make extra bubbles, so that's an added bonus to her abilities. It's just that it helps you if you do have those bubble missions, and especially if you are newer to the game and don't have a lot of good Tsums, Parade Tinkerbell could be helpful in that sense that it could do fever missions as well as bubble missions. But at the end of this gameplay for Parade Tinkerbell at skill level 6, I only got 1,360 coins, so really not that great for coins either. So unless you don't have a Start Fever Tsum or a bubble making Tsum, then Parade Tinkerbell is also a pass, but it is my number 4 Tsum. Next we have Esmeralda from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the ability description is clears a diagonal line of Tsum Tsum. And her animation is pretty long in my opinion. I don't necessarily think that it's that necessary to be that long, but ultimately the blast radius does come from the top right to the bottom left and makes that diagonal line and clears a bunch of Tsums. So currently I do have Esmeralda at skill level 4, and the blast radius or the skill range is large, so you could get a bigger skill range and earn a lot of more coins, but for me I think that Esmeralda is also a pass. Unless you could get Esmeralda to skill level 5 or 6, really it's not that great of a Tsum to have. During the animation it does freeze, so what you want to do is when you are using Esmeralda is that before the animation is activated, you just want to wait that couple of seconds to make sure the Tsums are settled in and then activate it. If you have gaps on the bottom right hand corner or the top left, that's okay, because that is outside of the blast radius, so that part doesn't matter too much. But if you have gaps like I do here right now, then that could hinder you a little bit in terms of how much coins you're going to earn. So at the end of this gameplay, I am using Esmeralda at skill level 4, and I did end up with 1,812 coins. So not that great. I am playing with the 5-4 and coin boost on for all of these demonstrations, so definitely below the bar. Next we have Prince Ali from Aladdin. The ability description is clear Tsum Tsum in the shape of an inverted T. I guess an inverted T or like a line down the middle and on the bottom. The bottom does come first, so essentially it's like the magic carpet that comes on the bottom, clears a bunch of Tsums on the bottom, and then vertically just like that. So yeah, it is like an inverted T, or you could say it's like an eye missing the top part. But Prince Ali, really the reason why you would want to get him is really for the combos. It's very effective for making long combos because of the magic carpet at the very bottom when it sweeps through. each one of the Tsums that he clears is considered one combo. So you definitely could get like 20-30 combos just from the bottom portion of it. But in this selection box, there are other Tsums that are better for combos. So for that reason, Prince Ali isn't necessarily one that you need to get right now. And also, he's not that great for coins either. I do have Prince Ali at skill level 5, and the skill range is extra large. So as you can see here, the blast radius is pretty big already. But at the end of this gameplay at skill level 5, I only ended up with 1,711 coins. And typically for a skill level 5 Tsum, that's really not that great. I expected a little bit more, at least in the 2000s for a skill level 5 Tsum. So for that reason, unless you need a Tsum for higher combos, then you could probably pass on Prince Ali. But there are better Tsums out there in this particular selection box that's good for combos, so stay tuned when I get to that. Next, we have Pumbaa from The Lion King. And the ability description for Pumbaa is that he clears all Tsum Tsum in the center. And it's really as simple as that. Right now I am playing Pumbaa at skill level 3, and the blast radius is a skill range of medium. So it's just going to clear a bunch of the Tsums in the middle, and similar strategies to a lot of the Tsums that have like frozen animation during the ability is you want to just wait that couple of seconds before you activate the ability. You definitely want to make sure that there is enough Tsums in the middle before the animation is activated for the chain purposes. You definitely want to strive for a higher chain, because that means that the higher the chain, the more coins you're going to earn. And for Pumbaa, really that's the reason why you would be using Pumbaa for a high coin earning potential. But you will need to get Pumbaa to at least a skill level 4 or maybe even skill level 5 before that he's even efficient in earning coins. For this particular gameplay, with the skill range of medium, Pumbaa only earned me 1,452 coins, and for the most part I play Pumbaa pretty well for these demonstrations. So for that reason, Pumbaa isn't going to be great for coin earning. Next, we have Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean, and the ability description for him is that he clears a diagonal line of Tsum Tsum. And honestly, I think this one is like the creepiest one out of all the Tsums that we have in the game. Salazar's animation is a little creepy, and if you play with the sound on, there is this ominous sound that comes on as well, and it's a little creepy, but the ability is okay. It's pretty decent. I do have Salazar at skill level 4 right now, and the skill range is considered large. And if you look at how many Tsums it clears, it's a pretty good amount for skill level 4. Usually I get in the low to mid 20s, so that's pretty efficient. So some of the things that you want to do when you are using Salazar is before you activate the ability, just make sure that in the I guess like the middle section of the diagonal and the top right and the bottom left diagonal has the Tsums, essentially like where the blast radius is, and it's really hard to really plan for those specific sections. So just wait until your screen is full before you activate the ability. And at the end of this gameplay at skill level 4, with the skill range of large, I did end up with 1,954 coins for this particular gameplay, so not that great for Salazar at skill level 4, but I think that if you get him to skill level 5, definitely viable. But yeah, there are better coin farmers out there. Next, we have Flounder from Little Mermaid, and Flounder's description is clears a horizontal line of Disney Tsum Tsum. So while the animation is a really cute animation, Flounder isn't a Tsum that you necessarily need. He's actually one of the worst Tsums that you could get in this particular selection box. I mean, I guess he is good for bubble making, but other than that, Flounder isn't going to be good for chains or for combos or anything like that. He is better than your average Tsum for combo, but really not necessary. For the reason that he's a terrible coin earner, and even at skill level 6, he makes 6 different lines, and these 6 different lines essentially is just Flounder swimming around for 6 times. So at the end of this gameplay, Flounder at skill level 6, I only earned 888 coins, below 1,000, so that's pretty bad. Just think about all the investment that you had to make to get Flounder to skill level 6, and then only to earn less than 1,000 coins. So for coin earning purposes, it's not great at all. So for that reason, you could pass on Flounder. Next, we have Flower from Bambi, and the ability description for Flower is tap one of the flowers that appears and it will clear surrounding Tsum Tsum. So Flower is a really simple Tsum to use, but you do have to play with some speed because during the animation, the time doesn't stop. So if you look at the clock, it is running while you are tapping the flowers. So there is some accuracy that you have to kind of play, and just make sure that you are tapping the flowers efficiently, because if you don't tap on the flowers properly, then you're just wasting a lot of time. And what you want to do is just look for the biggest one and then just start tapping around and make sure that they pop all the surrounding flowers. And then if you see any bubbles, you also want to pop those. But really, Flower is not a Tsum that you need. I am currently playing Flower at skill level 6 and with the number of 17. And at the end of this gameplay, I only earned 773 coins. So definitely pretty bad for a skill level 6 Tsum. Just like Flounder, don't need Flower for this particular selection box. You could just get other things. Next, we have Nemo from Finding Nemo, and the ability description for Nemo is he clears a horizontal line of Tsum Tsum. So Nemo is actually not too bad. I am playing Nemo at skill level 6 and needs 9 Tsum Tsum to activate his ability. So Nemo has an extremely low charge up time, and for that reason, you could actually activate a lot of his ability. And one of the strategy that I recommend you to use is continue to spam the ability and not worry too much if you have the proper setup. And what I mean by proper setup is it's okay to have gaps. And the reason for that is because Nemo has a low charge up time. So the more ability you activate, the better. And even if you mess up and there's not a lot of Tsums that you clear on certain gaps during the active ability, that's okay, because you will still likely clear 1 or 2 Nemo during the animation, which means you only need like 7 more to activate the next one. So because of the low charge up time, you just want to activate the ability as quick as possible. And then if you have the opportunity to clear Nemos, do that as fast as possible and activate the ability. It really comes down to speed and just being able to spot how Nemos on the screen and clearing them, and activate the ability as fast as possible. At the end of this gameplay, I am playing with Nemo at skill level 6. I was able to get 2,703 coins, so not too bad. It is pretty low for a skill level 6 Tsum, but still, I mean, out of all 12 of the Tsums that are in here, not too bad. It definitely didn't make my top 4, but still not too bad. Next, we have Patch from 101 Dalmatians. And the ability description for Patch is tap as many times as the number of footprints to clear horizontal lines of Tsum Tsums. So one thing I want to call out during the animation is keep a close eye to the bar above the fever. You'll see 3 footprints, but this is going to be different for different skill levels in terms of the skill range. So right now I am playing Patch at skill level 6, so the Dalmatians that will run across will clear a lot more Tsums than what you would at a lower skill level. However, the paws that are available to you should be 3, and I don't think that changes from the different skill levels. If you have noticed something differently, let me know in the comments below if you do get less footprints, but I do believe that regardless of what skill level you are at, you do get 3 footprints. And Patch is one of my favorite Tsums out there, specifically for the purpose of combos, and Patch is going to be really good at combos. Now, if you don't play like some of those crazy Tsums like Cinderella and just play everything normally, then Patch is going to be one of your best combo makers. For this particular gameplay, I did get a combo of 557. So if you have those like really pesky combo missions where it's really tough for you to get a high combo, then Patch is really the one you want to use. I am currently playing with the 5-4 and coin boost on as well, so it's really easy for me to activate his ability. But if you ever encounter those difficult missions where you need to get a high combo, this is your go-to Tsum. You definitely want to get a copy of Patch for the combo reasons. Unfortunately, Patch isn't that great for coins. I do have Patch at skill level 6 and only got 1,727 coins, so not that great for coins, but great for combos. Last but not least, you have my number 2, which is Boo from Monsters Inc. The ability description for Boo is tap one of the doors that appear and you'll get one of the 3 effects. And that's the cool thing about Boo, and why it is one of my favorite is because there are 3 different abilities. So what we'll do here is just take a look at each one of the doors and then analyze them a little bit, and you can kind of figure out which one is the best. They're all going to be different, so you want to make sure you just pay close attention to which one you're tapping. So the first door we're going to look at is the pink door, which is Boo's door. What it will do is it will eliminate Boo from the entire game. So if you're playing with a 5-4 on, only 3 Tsums will appear for a short period of time. In this case, it's about 6 seconds or so. It's just going to be a short period of time, so don't expect something for too long. And let's take a look at the next door. We'll take a look at the green door. What will show up is Mike. And Mike will become small, and then what happens is you won't be able to tap Mike like I'm trying to right here. But what happens is if you are clearing Tsums around Mike, it will burst right away and count as one of your long chains. Now, the finale. This is the door that will be the most useful door out of all of them, and it's likely the only door that you're gonna be using for a bit, because this is the blue door. The blue door will create Sullies that will show up on the screen and change all of the Boos into Sullies. And if you have those missions where you need to clear Sullies or clear big bubbles, this is exactly perfect. So I do want to show you guys something here that I saw on Reddit, and I'm just replicating some of the things here. So I saved all of Boos here and made one really big chains at the very end, and check out the combo that I got. I got a 160 chain combo. I mean, not combo, but 160 chain. So if you are looking for a Tsum that makes a really long chain or clear a bunch of big Tsums, then this blue door for Boo is perfect for you. But anyways, let's get back to some reality. If you are looking for a Tsum to just get you a lot of coins, or using Boo to get you a lot of coins, use more of the blue door. For this demonstration, I didn't use the blue door alone. I used all 3 of them and only got 793. But if you rewind back to the demonstration I just showed you for the longest chain, I was able to get 1,831 coins for that particular gameplay. So if you just keep using the blue door, Boo is actually pretty efficient for coin earning. That's pretty much it for this selection box. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful in determining which Tsums that you're going to be getting, and if maybe you might want to just save for the next selection box. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.